Weekend stars Finn Wittrock as Bart, a down-on-his-luck struggling writer who meets an enigmatic woman named Vienna, played by Zoe Chao, who enters his life at the right time. This is written and directed by Steve Basilone, and this one caught my attention as it was one of the few theatrically released films at the very beginning of 2021, before a lot of major studio films and blockbusters were back in theaters. Though unfortunately, at a time when people still weren't going back to the movies, this slipped quietly under the radar. Which is a shame, as it's a sweet, slightly more ambitious romantic comedy than what we're used to these days, especially since a lot of rom-coms just go straight to Netflix or other streaming services. Now it starts off like just about everything else we've seen before, where Bart's still trying to get over a bad breakup, and he gets all the support from his best friend Doug, played by Damon Wayans Jr., and he then meets this delightful woman who starts getting his mind off things, and he starts to become a better person. Though while it plays into some tropes we've seen countless times before, its approach is something I have to commend. Stylistically, it goes for a somewhat minimalistic, less is more approach. It doesn't try to go too hard on overtly sentimental music, nor does it try to get laughs out of contrived sitcom-like scenarios. Basilone sets the atmosphere well, with a somewhat free-moving camera style that makes it feel like we're right there with these characters, and he really tries to highlight the performances by the entire cast. And relying too much on performances is something that can be a bit tricky to do, as it sometimes can be used to mask bad writing, but in this instance it works. The chemistry between Wittrock and Chao is really solid, with Chao in particular giving a performance that's nothing short of delightful, with her whimsical, seemingly carefree nature helping bring Wittrock's down in the dumps Bart out of his bad mood. And it's done in a way where it avoids seeming too contrived, as it isn't filled with any grandiose speeches or overtly sentimental music. There's a cheesiness to their interactions, but everyone's so sincere that it makes said cheesiness, as well as some of the familiar tropes, a bit forgivable. But where this really catches you off guard is that there's actually a huge twist halfway through. I won't reveal what it is, though I will say the film makes it obvious that it's building towards something, even if you don't know what it is exactly, as we see Vienna avoiding questions about herself and trying to change the subject, and Bart doesn't understand why. But when we do get to what it is, I will say it is quite the doozy. But what I will commend the film for is that it doesn't come off like it's just this gimmick, nor does it feel like it throws the film off tonally, at least not by much. There's still some of that cheesiness in there, but the film at least remains consistent with its light, gentle approach, so it doesn't completely take you out of the moment. Plus, it allows the writing to especially move away from playing too much into generic romantic comedy tropes, thus allowing Wittrock and Chao to truly shine. Now, considering it still tries to remain pretty grounded in its approach, it only goes so far with this twist, and at a mere 90 minutes, it's over before you know it, but I gotta say, this is a film that surprisingly swings for the fences, and for the most part, it lands without feeling too gimmicky, so it makes Long Weekend better than your average romantic comedy. While at first it plays like something we've seen countless times before, it has more ambitions than it lets on, while still managing to approach its story using a grounded approach. It relies a lot on its performances, but it works, with a sincere tone and a charming sense of humor. While it only goes so far with its ambitions, it's still something a bit different than your usual romantic comedy, and I'd say it's worth checking out. Long Weekend gets a 7 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Long Weekend, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find this sweet? Did you find it funny? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.